Good morning. Happy New Year. This is the tree comes down today, so this is the last bit of the Christmas tree.
It's definitely the Epiphany hasn't happened yet.
That's true. We have 2 more days. January 6th.
I'm hoping to get my stuff down today. I'm just like I get right into that mood, and if I'm home, my stuff will be done the 26th. Like the inside stuff comes down. I leave the outdoor lights up. Because with the snow, it looks pretty, and it's like the only shining, glowing light we have until like the month of May.
Right. Well, I got down my Star Trek Christmas tree yesterday. It's totally down, zipped, packed up. It's good to go. Living room, the wreaths outside, that'll all get done today. So I'm hoping it'll be done. It'll be in boxes today. Tomorrow will be like 100% back to normal.
All right.
So I am reading this article, Haley, about Andy Cohen said he got a little, quote, stupid and drunk on live TV. I was watching part of it live.
I saw clips of it, and I heard he was ripped.
They were doing shots at the top of the hour. And then he just kept getting like cocktails handed to him. It was a train wreck. It makes our after hours when we're drinking seem like G-rated compared to what he did.
I know, it's
CNN. Oh my God. Yeah, so I just was reading the article, and I mean,
a little scathing.
Yeah. So.
But here's a question.
Anyways.
I'm going to play devil's advocate. What if it was a female that was that wasty waist? Do you think the same mentality would be applied to it?
I mean, for the record, I don't have the haha mentality. I think it was indecorous.
Excellent choice of words.
But no.
Think about what the general consensus is for that.
I'd agree. I would agree.
General consensus. So I have a question for you before we get started. Have you ever done a New Year's sailing?
The closest I did was Jewel with you 3 years ago this week.
I'm obsessed. I'm so obsessed that I booked another for this coming year. Let's see here. We've got 1 more minute to get started. Let's see here. I'm putting notes in the comment section. Guys, remember, if you're watching on Facebook, put a little dash with your name unless you click that link that I put in there so we know who you are, because for us it just says Facebook user. I gotta pull up our agenda here. I feel like I'm just still out of sorts from not being in my home office.
Out of sorts?
Out of sorts.
With a buddy of yours, I may have punched him. It's a blur, sir. He handles the financials. You punched the bursar? Yes.
I love that play on words. Like, that's one of my favorite play on words ever.
I do too.
Let's see here. Just one thing, and then we can go live. I know it's technically the top of the hour, but it's the new year. We're still adjusting. Just so you know, Jason, it's not mine. I'm getting a speed test right now.
Well, when you ran your speed test,
crazy. All right. If only.
All right, guys. Well, it is top of the hour, guys. Welcome to 2022. If you're just not joining us, this is Haley and I's weekly travel show. We do it every Tuesday, 11 a.m. Eastern time. Come to you every Tuesday with the breaking news in the travel world. We started it last year during the pandemic to kind of talk about where we
go find our.
I think it might have been late. We should. It was late 2020, early 2021. So we did it to bring you like, hey, it's COVID. but you still want to travel. Where can you safely travel? What's open? If you want to travel, the requirements. And we've seen everything open up, things kind of close down again. So this is the fair and balanced travel show. We're not here to be cheerleaders. We are here to tell you how it is, guys. So I am Jason Poole. I'm a travel advisor with Cruise Planners, an American Express travel representative, and I just love going on cruises. I also do a lot of land resorts, European land travel. Love flying. I joke the airport's my home, so I'm always checking my points and hacks and miles. So my partner in crime, Happy New Year, Miss Haley. How are you?
Happy New Year. I'm good. And welcome, everybody. Just like Jason said, we're here at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Every Tuesday, I am a travel blogger. I own a hotel sales support company. Been in hospitality for almost 15 years. That feels really weird to
Wow.
say. It feels very, very weird. But there's so much travel news going on today. So let's hop into it. Mark, I will answer your question at the end of the broadcast. All right.
All right. So I'm sure you guys heard all the news over the last week or so. There were so many delays with airports. The Omicron variant of COVID is spreading like crazy. I caught it myself, actually, like 2 weeks ago. I got over it very quickly. I'm vaccinated. I'm boosted. Within 3.5 days, I felt totally normal, tested negative, like 5 days after a positive test.
And
So,
that's what it's for.
right. So it was super, super, super mild. But a lot of flight crews got it. A lot of pilots got it. Like just airline employees got it. So there were so many delays because the airlines literally didn't have enough employees to.
That, and there was a lot of winter storms too. I think like
Right.
they used some of those winter storm numbers, which are pretty generic. Like if you are flying in the United States between the end of November through March, your chances of running into some winter weather, depending on where you're coming from, are very high.
Right, right. So, but the good news is Delta gave everyone who had delays in flights a $15,000 miles. We're sorry. So your SkyMiles account just got 15,000 extra miles.
I was
The other airlines stayed. You were one of those. The other airlines stayed quiet. So good for Delta. So if you were impacted by the holiday delays and you flew Delta and did not get a bonus mile apology, reach out to Delta and see if you were eligible for the extra miles.
Yeah, I was able to get it. So what happened was my flight down was technically canceled. But the thing is, and this is also a potential travel hackish, I guess, situation. I went and looked at the flights because I was flying out Christmas Eve at 3 p.m., getting into Fort Lauderdale at 8:30 p.m. I had a connection in Atlanta. And the options it was giving me were like 6 a.m. on the 25th, which still got me in time. My cruise didn't leave till the 26th, but I was like, ugh, I do not want to get up at 3 in the morning. I don't want to do that. So what I did is I went over to Google Flights quickly while I was on hold for Delta with my little platinum medallion line. And I saw that the flight to Miami was still good. So in essence, the flight in question, that was the issue, is they canceled the Atlanta to Fort Lauderdale flight. So I called, I was like, can you just flip me to Atlanta, Miami, and then I'll take a taxi and just go back to the hotel that I was staying at. And then I took what I paid for that taxi and I submitted to travel insurance.
Excellent.
But I got my 15,000 real quick.
Good. Yeah. So if you didn't get it, go check on it.
Get your
All right. Next news, over the holidays, the CDC issued a warning against going on cruises regardless of vaccination status. They call cruises, they're at the highest category, which is funny. So is the entire United States, about going against cruises. We will discuss this in more detail later in the show. But CLIA, basically the consortium of cruise line, there's one consortium that represents all the cruise industry, basically put out a memo saying, where is this warning against flying, against going to hotels, against going to like bars. I mean, so they basically thought the cruise industry was being singled out unfairly. I don't think this warning applies to all cruise lines and cruise ships equally. We will discuss that in more detail later in the show.
We will. I'm saving it. I'm saving my soapbox for that conversation.
Excellent. All right. So along the same lines, and Haley and I have discussed this a bunch, right? If you have international travel, you should always have contingency plans, right? So, like, what are my backup options if my flight gets canceled? Like Haley flying to Miami instead of Fort Lauderdale, right? Like, what are my, especially for international travel, right? What if my nonstop gets delayed? Okay, I can get there connecting through Amsterdam, right? So it's just always good to have contingency plans.
Well,
what if I get COVID in Europe? Like,
I'm doing that as we speak because I moved my London trip to the end of February, and I'm like, is that even going to be an option right now? I'm just like, oh, do I book another cruise? What do I do? Backup options.
Right. So it's always good to have backup options. This is where travel insurance is just a must these days.
100%.
So some good news. So when the Omicron variant first was coming on the scene, the Biden administration put a travel ban in for 8 South African countries where we first found the Omicron variant. The good news is the Omicron variant, the surge in the South African countries is pretty much not done, but it's definitely on the decline, more manageable now, which hopefully means we're right around the corner with ours being on the decline. Hopefully. So the travel ban for those 8 countries has been rescinded. They're not really super popular travel destinations, but we wanted to just bring it to your attention to let you know that the ban has been rescinded.
Unafraid.
Right. All right. And then so the last news, if you are going to Paris soon, they have reintroduced their outdoor mask policy. So this is just kind of the way of the world, right? Mask mandates come in, they go back out. So if you're traveling to France or Paris, I should say soon, just bring lots and lots of masks to match your Parisian purchased goods. And you will be wearing a mask nearly the whole time, which wearing a mask honestly does not bother me.
It doesn't, and I feel like maybe even during like flu season and stuff, just in general, that should be common practice. And it's funny because there's some other like Asian countries where they're always before this on public transport. They always were. I actually like wearing a mask this time of year because it's so cold.
No, right. I mean, I told you this morning I woke up and it was 26 degrees. That's real cold down south. That's cold.
I'm surprised you're like not frozen. We have the same temperature today.
Oh, that's awful.
All right, Jason, let's get out the soapbox time.
Would you book a cruise right now? Well, Haley, you just got back from a cruise.
I did just get back from a cruise, and oh my God, my Instagram DMs were full of this question.
Okay.
And for me, I would say yes with a but. And that but is not, oh my God, I'm afraid of getting sick. No, I'm vaccinated and boosted like you. If I were to catch something, I'm protected and it's going to be mild. You know, I'm okay with that. Because I know I could get it anywhere. Like not just on a cruise ship. I would say if you are somebody that's looking to like get into the ports, you know, do some excursions, you know, you really want that full well-rounded cruise experience, I would book a cruise, but only on certain cruise lines right now. We saw a slew of ships getting denied access. I mean, I was on the Reflection and we cruised right past Vision and Odyssey in St. Thomas. They weren't allowed to dock. Us, Princess was there, NCL was there. but no royal ships. And I know Disney actually just got denied St. Thomas until their new rule goes into effect this month.
Right.
So if ports are really important to you right now, I would really consider which lines. And then do you want to, you can add a little more light to that topic.
Yeah, I would even go further than that and say it's not just if ports are required or interesting to you, but if a more like true cruising experience is required. So what Haley's talking about with Disney's new rules. So Disney is later this month, actually in the next like week or two, is now requiring everybody to be vaccinated, period. Okay. So you have, if you're 5 and up, is it 5? Yeah, that's the age limit now, right?
Yep.
Yeah, 5. Yeah, 5 and above to be fully vaccinated, right? So you only now have, so the mass market family friendly cruise lines are Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, Carnival, and Disney. Disney's not mass market, but they're family, right?
Yeah.
And Royal Caribbean and Carnival are just like, hey, come on, 12 and above have to be vaccinated. Under 12, you have to be vaccinated, have to just be tested at the terminal, right? So you could literally have 1,000 unvaccinated passengers on your cruise.
And especially over the
Like, even though
holidays,
no
that's
kid.
what you had were people going on family trips.
Yes, I mean, right. So Royal Caribbean and Carnival are packing their ships full of unvaccinated passengers. And I think this is a terrible mistake. Norwegian has never had this problem. Now, technically, this is celebrities, same policy, but not a lot of kids do celebrity, right? But actually, that's a lie.
Like
Celebrity has.
I felt like 15.
Right, but actually, that's a lie. Celebrity committed to the CDC to have no more than 5% of the passengers unvaccinated, right? So Celebrity limits the number of children on board. Carnival and Royal Caribbean are saying, come on, come all, and they'll fill their ship with just so many unvaccinated passengers, which is why you're seeing these outbreaks mostly occur on Carnival and Royal Caribbean. That's why when Haley went to St. Thomas, Celebrity could dock, Princess could dock, Norwegian could dock, Royal Caribbean could not dock. So would I book a cruise right now? Absolutely. Would I go on Carnival or Royal Caribbean right now? No, I would not. Would I go on Celebrity or Princess or
And this
Virgin
is
right
not
now?
him
Yeah.
being, and that's not him being bougie right now.
No. No, I mean, I would do like a Norwegian cruise right now, right? I
Yeah.
would do, I would do Norwegian, I'd do Virgin. So I really think Royal and Carnival have made strategic errors. They got greedy, thought they could fill the ships. Oh, we won't have breakouts. There won't be that many kids. Well, they have allowed.
I mean,
they
and
put
thankfully
no
the
limits on
breakouts
number of kids.
the breakouts that have happened have not been bad because a good majority of the people are vaccinated. Like obviously nobody's dying.
Right.
We're not seeing that, but it's kind of ruining
It
it
is.
for everybody else.
Right. So, so they've paused new booking for the next couple of weeks, but you could still book a Celebrity cruise for like next week. You can't book a Royal Caribbean cruise next week because Royal Caribbean's like, oh crap, our ships are too full. We have too many kids on board. We can't add more people. So I think Royal Caribbean and Carnival have a problem, and they need to either limit it to 5%, like Celebrity does, or go to the Norwegian model of you have to be vaccinated. Not that kids can't come. They just have to be 5 and above, and they have to be vaccinated. So, yeah. So the answer is I'd go on a cruise, but not on a cruise line that allows so many unvaccinated people.
I know that this technically isn't the question, but do you think we're going to start seeing booster requirements? Because a lot of people have now been vaccinated about a year ago.
Eventually. So P&O in Europe is about to redefine what fully vaccinated means. And it is if your second shot was more than, it's like 9 months ago or so, you are required to get a booster. If you're recently vaccinated, you don't need to get a booster. right? So I think the definition of what it means to be fully vaxxed is about to change for certain industries, environments, businesses, venues.
That's what I'm thinking too. Well, this was a fun one. Now we have our travel tip of the day is FlightAware.
This is a cool app. The user interface isn't the prettiest. I'll just tell you that up front. It's not the prettiest, but the information in the app is great, right? So FlightAware, it's a free app. I think you can pay for some ad-free version of it, but it's free. And basically it just tracks flights. Like, well, why would I want to know that? One, it's kind of cool to see, like, oh, what planes are above me right now and where are they going, right? That's kind of cool. But it's really neat in this day and age of a lot of delays. You can track where your plane is right now, right? So if you had a flight this afternoon, you could put in your flight number, and it'll track it for you. It can send you alerts when the plane's about to arrive, when the flight plan's been filed, et cetera, et cetera. And it's really cool because you can track your plane's current location, even if it's doing some other route. So I love this. This is also great when you're picking up people from the airport. You can see where the plane is, and it often Haley brought this up, and I agree. I often get alerts more quickly from FlightAware than I do from
The airline
the
itself.
airline. So this is nice for if you're at the airport and your flight gets canceled. Guys, those 2 to 5 minutes heads up to run to the gate could make a huge difference in time,
They
right?
sure
So
do.
being the first one at the gate to talk to an agent or in the lounge versus the 50th or 100th could make a world of difference. So FlightAware, it's a great useful app. Like the user interface, not great, but I love it. I use it all the time.
Ugh, oh my goodness. Well, we're going to talk about this in the group. I'm actually going to flash a question up here quick too. Somebody wants to know where to watch the primary stream right now. Currently, we are not actually using a platform. We are using a streaming service that is multicasting to YouTube, Twitter, Facebook, Twitch. So you can watch us on whichever platform is most comfortable for you. There are a couple other streaming platforms that we're going to look into, but for the sake of the show and consistency, this is the route that we're going right now. So
I agree. Haps is just, I mean, we saw some people over the weekend do some haps, and I jumped in on them.
Yep, I did a HAPS because it was a little easier than trying to just get into the one. And I think for on the go travel broadcasting, us finding something like that will make sense. But for the weekly show and keeping it consistent, and honestly, the back end being able to create these graphics and stuff has been really nice, and it's a little more user friendly than what we were doing. So new in the group. So normally we have our traveler question of the week. I didn't get back till yesterday, so I was a little behind. So I'm sorry. But if you haven't noticed, we have some new pinned topics. So I'm adding to the pin section at the top of the page. These questions that I'm posting, like what is your favorite hotel in Fort Lauderdale? What is your favorite hotel in Miami? So when you're booking that cruise, or you want to go to Florida for the weekend, or Rome, Italy, wherever, there's going to be pinned topics up there where you can go scroll through the pinned topics, find something that pertains to what you're looking for versus having to search through the whole entire group, which I find is a lot easier. So if you have an idea for a topic, please message Jason and I directly. But we are going to start seeing more of those. I think we have Fort Lauderdale, Miami done as of right now. So
yeah, I think that's great, right? I mean, there was a property that I've heard Haley brag about for a while, and I was like, God, I get tired of hearing you brag about it. But other people were suggesting that same property.
Oh, the Fort Lauderdale one, there was like 6 people in a row.
I know. I was like, maybe Haley is right about about Fort Lauderdale. So it's been nice, right? So I enjoyed reading those comments. I was gonna put the Hyatt Centric in there for Fort Lauderdale, but I was like, I don't think anybody will care now.
But I think it's all different because I mean, there's times that that Hyatt Centric could be cheaper than those beachfront properties, not by
Or like,
much, but
no, but I would like maybe have a free night or whatever, right? So
absolutely. And there's a nice variety in there too.
yeah, I agree.
Let's
I
see
agree.
here. Oh, okay. So this is our last topic before we get to go. Jason, we had a few more cabins booked.
We did. So we actually sold out of some Aqua Class cabins. I got some more back. Ocean View is now gone. But we still have some verandas, which are balconies, and Aqua Class left. And there's only a handful of suites left on this sailing. So if you are wanting to join us on the Celebrity Solstice, August 2022, doing a 7-night sailing on Alaska, it is filling out or selling out very quickly, especially with the group rates. And if you want to get in a suite, like they are nearly gone. So definitely jump on that very, very soon.
And Jason and I are actually in the process of creating a package, which will probably fall post cruise because Alaska cruises, the round trip ones start on Fridays. Oddly enough,
right. So
so
we'll probably do like a pre-hotel Thursday night, get to the ship Friday, and stay in Seattle afterwards for the weekend.
yeah, so we're looking at doing tours like of Pike Place Market. It's going to be
fun.
So much fun, as if you just need to eat more after a 7-night cruise.
And lots of Starbucks, right, in Seattle?
Yes, lots of Starbucks. There's lots of those options. So if you are interested in those, please let us know. I'm just double checking the questions so far. I think we're close to, somebody was asking how many people so far. I think we're close to 20.
That sounds about right. I don't have it in front. That sounds about right. Yeah.
And we've got a couple more feelers out right now on that too. And the prices, guys, for Alaska, you got to keep in mind, Jason has his links right now. Like my father did a solo balcony because Alaska sometimes is kind of pricey. I mean, this is drinks, this is gratuities, it's Wi-Fi, it's out the door. It's cheaper than some Caribbean sailings during this time.
The group rates right now are really good.
And
like they're really
Seattle
good.
Has some fantastic air flights right now. Like even for me, across the country, there is really cheap airfare too. I mean,
I need to look on the airfare. You know what? I'm going to use one of my first class platinum
upgrade
vouchers. I think
vouchers.
Yeah, I think I'm going to throw the voucher on the table and say, "Give me first class to Seattle."
I think that's what I'm doing as well.
But so that's an interesting question though. Because if I want to do first class, it's per segment. So I might not want to do a Nashville to MSP to Seattle. I might want to do a Nashville ATL and then ATL to Seattle, and that's
I'm looking to see which of the flights have any Delta One cabins, because like the times I flew to Seattle this last year, they had Delta One cabins.
Right, but but what I want to waste the upgrade certificate MSP to Seattle. You know what I mean? Like, so that I need to figure out the segments. So yeah, this is all Haley and I talk about all day, every day.
It really is. And I think actually for next week's travel tip, I have to remember how to find it. But you guys know I'm a huge Google Flights fan. There's a version of Google Flights that you can use, and you can see what kind of first class seats are on each flight. Like it'll tell you if it's a lay down seat or if it's a traditional seat.
Right.
I forgot to include for the travel news. I mean, this is maybe an after hours chat for you and I. Did you see the new renovations for the Emirates A380s?
I did not.
They're so beautiful. I always think of things after. I'm like, oh, I should have added that. But Jason, this is an amazing broadcast. If you guys are just catching this, we would really appreciate appreciate it if you shared this with your friends. The more the merrier. This is an open forum travel group. Feel free to ask questions, share some of your travel favorites. You can go to todayintravel.live. That will take you to the Today in Travel Facebook group. Jason, do you want to close it out?
All right, guys. Thanks as always. Join our Facebook group. We'll see you here next week, Tuesday, 11 a.m. Eastern, wherever you want to watch live video broadcast. All right, guys.
All right, bye.
See you later.